So I've spent close to $10,000 on tools that are made by Dewalt. You know, I do like most of the tools, but some of them I can tell you I wish I didn't buy, and some of them have failed really bad, especially when you're on a job, something you don't want. But for the most part, Dewalt has done me pretty good. I haven't had a warranty or anything, but typically if something fails, I just go buy another one because I don't have time to sit there and wait for the warranty process. And I do wish the warranty process was a little bit better. But yeah, here's just a video on what I like, what I don't like, and how I wish some of the tools Dewalt made just a little bit better and added a couple features that would be a big deal to us that invest into this. So follow along, let's get to it. All right, we're gonna start on this side. We're gonna start from this way and just work our way over to that side. So first, one of my favorite tools, we have the Dewalt XR plunge router, model DCW 620. And I do have a carrying case for this that I just utilize. All my accessories and stuff fit in here. And this thing has been great. I love that it has the auto vac function, so it connects Bluetooth to the dust extractor. And yeah, I can't complain about this tool. It's been really good. So moving on next, here's where my Dewalt track saw is kept. And I always keep an extra battery in there just for whatever reason, but I do love this thing. This thing's been pretty great to me. It also has the auto connect function to the Dewalt dust extractor, and it's been really good. I wish they made more accessories for the track saw, but that's honestly the only thing I can complain about. The power is definitely there. And then here we have the dust extractor. It's kind of overpriced, but honestly the portability is what makes it worth it. But I do like this thing. It does the job. It keeps the dust bare to a minimum, if anything at all, and it works the way it's supposed to. And then the 8-inch contractor saw. This thing is great. I love it. I can't complain about it. I was gonna buy the cordless version, but from a lot of reviews I found out it's really underpowered, and just corded option was the way to go. So yeah, I should have got the 10-inch one because it's about the same size and it is still portable like this one, but this one does the job for all my little things. And I have a wood shop, so I could just take anything that I need to do complicated cuts into my own shop. So this does the job for most applications that I'm doing when I'm remodeling. And then here we have one of my first saws I bought, the Flexible, and unfortunately this is one of the tools that has failed. It just does not work anymore, and it was one of my favorite saws, but yeah, I didn't replace it because I had two other saws that work just fine. But yeah, this thing worked great, but then it just took a crap on me, and it just kind of sits here as a reminder. And then here is my 6 1/4 circ saw. This thing's great, works fine, especially for plywoods, T11 siding, all that type of stuff, even framing, it's fine. And then to this big boy, this thing works great. I cannot complain about this. It is heavy when you're on a ladder and stuff, and when you're trying to make complicated cuts, but it's accurate, it does the job, and it works great. I do wish they made a 20-volt rear handle saw, which I think they will in the future. Let me know, Dewalt, let me know if you could do that. I'm sure you could. You did it with the miter saw. And then over here we just have my everyday, just electrician's tool. I'm not an electrician, but I do a little bit of everything, so that just keeps everything in there. And then the Dewalt fan saw. I picked this up on a Black Friday deal. Works great for cutting unistrut, rebar, anything really, pipe. I cut pipe with it. And I didn't get the big one because I don't really do a lot of big things, like as far as for what this is used for. But yeah, I can't complain about this. Works great, lightweight, and it does the job. And then here we have the planer. This thing is awesome. I love it. Can't complain. Do wish they added the Bluetooth connectivity to the dust extractor, but it works great. Can't complain about it. Does the job, and I can't complain. And here we have the belt sander, which does have the Bluetooth connectivity, which that symbol symbolizes that. And this thing does work good. The only thing that I would complain about is, for some reason, the belts don't stay on the track really well. You have to kind of let off and then go back into it. So I don't know, maybe I'm doing something wrong, but I've looked at the manuals and it's probably me, user error, but I don't know. Tell me in the comments what you guys think. And I use this mostly for like sanding decks and resurfacing them and getting them ready for stain, at least for the prep. And then here I have 3 of these. These work great. One of these took a shit on me and it started smoking, and yeah. So I had 3, and I got them when they were like 60 bucks, 70 bucks. So I bought 2, and yeah, they work great, other than one has felt on me. But I looked online and there's replacement parts, and I think that will fix the issue. And I do wish these were Bluetooth connectivity as well. They should definitely have that on any sander. Then here we go to the barrel grit jigsaw. I love this thing. Clean, accurate cuts. Only thing is, it's hard to get a square cut with this, so I always just cut off a little bit and then just kind of just flush trim up to it, and it does the job, so I can't complain. At least thick woods, it's not good for thick woods or hardwoods. It does not cut square, but everything else it does. Especially for coping and all that, it's perfect. And then this is the first jigsaw I bought when I first started out, and this thing's great. It works great, does the job. Can't complain. Honestly, I can't. I do wish that they put a dust hose attachment for it on both of these, but I'm pretty sure there's an accessory for that. And then here are my drywall screw guns. This one's just for whoever I have with me, and then this one's just my collated attachment, so it makes things a little bit quicker. These I have nothing to complain about. They work great. And yeah, so moving on up, we have the 60 volt. I think this is the professional landscaping blower before they made the backpack one and all that, and it works great. It does the job. I believe it's 650 CFM. This thing's awesome. I love it. I'm glad I didn't buy the 20 volt one. This thing is great, especially on eco mode. It blows really good and it lasts for at least 30 minutes. So here we have SDS. I think I bought this used, but this thing has been great. I picked this up originally for a bathroom demo to chip up the tile and chip into the concrete to put in a new drain, which this is perfect for. And yeah, it works great, dude. This thing's been beat up, thrown, and it's just been phenomenal. And then this atomic one doesn't have the chipping function, which I did buy it thinking it did, but honestly, this thing's light and it's perfect for putting in those high anchors that you have to do on a ladder, and it just works really good for at least drilling. And it's got really good control, and it works great. It works the way it's intended to, and can't complain. So here we have 2 trim routers, cordless. So this one sometimes works and then sometimes doesn't. It will just spin this and then stop. So, but sometimes it works. So I don't know if there's a loose wire or something going on, but yeah, that's why I ended up buying this one. And this one's been working great. I love these. These are one of my favorite tools, and I use them a lot, especially being a woodworker. And then here we have a drywall router. Haven't really used this much because, you know, maybe I keep forgetting that I have it. So I've used it on a few jobs, but there's been times I probably could have used this, and it works really great. All right, moving on next to the new drill, or the big chunky one at least. DCD 1007. This thing is a powerhouse. This thing works great, and I love the auto shut off function, because I have busted my hand a few times with this one, the flex bolt one, which this one still works great. And then I also have the atomic. This one doesn't have the hammer drill function, but it's perfect for cabinets and all that type of stuff. Lightweight, I love it. So all these drills I like Dewalt drills. And then everybody knows this one. You always get this in a kit. It works great, I like it. And yeah, it's cool. I definitely want to upgrade it to the bigger one, the one that's LEDs and really strong, but it does its job. So moving on up to the Atomic 3/8 Impact. This thing is crazy. I use this mostly when I'm on my boat, because my boat has a trim motor that does not work, so I have to manually undo the bolts and then lower the trim and then bolt them back in. And the crazy part is I accidentally dipped this in the water and it was working. So literally I use this submerged fully into the water and it still works, just to prove it. But maybe that'll be another video I make. And then here is the new Impact, the DCF 860. This thing I love. This thing's great. I love it. It's a little bit too powerful for a lot of your smallest screws. It'll snap them really quickly if you don't have good self-control. But I cannot complain. I love this. I paid $200 when it first came out, because as you know, Dewalt fans, we buy everything before it's on sale because we want it and we can't help ourselves. So yeah, now these are going in kits. You buy one get one free. I might pick up another one. They're great. And I also have the Atomic one, but that one's somewhere and I can't find it right now. So moving on down to the nailers. Here is the electric stapler for Romex. Works great. Used this a few times and it does the job. Can't complain. And then here is the pin nailer. This thing is awesome. I love it. I wish all their nailers had this type of function instead of the flywheel. This one's great. I love this. And then here's my 16 gauge finish nailer, my most used nailer other than my framing and roofing ones. I like this thing. Should have got the angled one, but this one works just fine. This thing's great. And then here we have the new XR 21 degree framing nailer. So this thing works great. Of course, nail guns are gonna jam, but there is one thing that I've noticed, and it's that those are sticking out. I don't know what that is, but it still works. It does the job. It is quite heavy, especially with the battery. Even without the battery, it's heavy, but it does the job. And then here we have the roofing nailer. Sorry, kind of got out of focus. Seems great. I tried using siding nails for it, and unfortunately it wasn't shooting good, so I couldn't use it for siding, which was kind of bummed about. Dewalt, you should make one that's compatible with both siding nails and roofing nails, because it is expensive and I think you should be able to do both. But yeah, it works great for roofing. I could do full roofs almost on just one battery, which is crazy. It sounds crazy, but I've done it with one big battery. So moving on up, we have the first grinder I ever bought. I think this is my only grinder actually. This ain't the paddle one. This thing works great. Cut everything with it and it does its job, so can't complain. I have the safety shoe off because sometimes you just need to get to those really close places and you can't do it with that thing on. And then here's my Atomic multi-tool. I love this thing. Works great. A lot of vibration though. And for some reason, every time I use it for a long period of time, I feel like some type of burning sensation in my hand. I don't know if it's from the vibrations, but yeah, I want to try the XR one and see how that one goes. But on to the next tool, Atomic Sawzall. This thing is great and it does everything. It's lightweight, it's powerful, it works for almost everything. And then when you get to those big things that you kind of need a little bit more power, here's the new XR. I did a video on this showing cutting the bottom of a frame out when we were doing a remodel. And this thing's great, it's powerful. Only thing I wish this had was a rafter hook, and also to be able to put the blade on a clock. So on to the next one. I bought this off OfferUp. I just wanted to see how it was. The 60-volt chainsaw. I've used it a handful of times. I did a video using it. Works great. My only complaint is that the oil leaks out. So that's my only complaint. That's where all this is from. But other than that, it's powerful. It works great. I think you could use it in a professional setting. If you cut trees for a living, let me know if you guys tried this out. I'd like to know. All right, and then to one of the tools that has failed, and this is the 60-volt brushless weed trimmer. This is not the one that's attachment capable. I thought it was, which was a bummer when I tried it out, but it worked great. I did a video on it, and one of my buddies was using it to do a job, and it just didn't work. It stopped working for some reason. So yeah, it's a bummer. Dewalt, I don't know what's wrong with it. I took out the internals and I don't know, but I don't use it enough to be paying attention to it that much, as I got a really busy life. So yeah, just let me know what you can do, Dewalt. And then here, this thing I picked up was sweet. I almost got the 20-volt, but this one is perfect. I love using this to clean my dirt bikes, boat, and my trucks. It works great. Can't complain. And then on to one of my favorite tools, my 7 1/4 sliding cordless miter saw. This one I believe is not brushless, but it still works great, and I love it. It works great for casing, molding, baseboards, even laminate flooring. I cannot complain. The only thing I can complain about is the Dewalt. You gotta make tools like this connect to the Bluetooth on a dust extractor. I know I'm not the only one that has said something about this, and that leads me to my next tool. One of my bigger purchases, the 60-volt sliding miter saw. So this is the one that I have a big upset reason to be mad about, is because I guess in Europe this one does have the Bluetooth connectivity to the dust extractor. I don't know why Dewalt didn't give us to us Americans, but I know the new 20-volt version is. So that is kind of a bummer, honestly, because I love this saw, and normally I just hook up the little remote to this. And other than that, man, I really cannot complain about this saw. I love it. It lasts forever on the battery, and it recharges the battery when the blade stops. Not tremendously, but enough to get a couple more cuts out of your battery. So yeah, so on to the probably the most expensive investments, the batteries. So most of these work great, except for the biggest battery I own, the 12 amp hour. So for some reason, I always see videos of these failing. I don't know if it's something inside. I checked the voltage, it's getting the right voltage. I don't know why. It will not charge. It stays on one bar, or right now it's not, oh, there it goes. And it will not, the charger will not pick up on its current. Like, it will just act like there's nothing plugged in. So yeah, and this is not a cheap battery, and it just sucks because I really love this battery for my 60-volt tools, and it's a bummer. So Dewalt, if you can do something about that, please let me know. And then here we have a 9 amp hour, 6 amp hour, an older 6 amp hour, another 6 amp hour flex volt, and then the new batteries, the power packs. I got 4 of them with all the deals that they had going on last year. And then just you run into muck batteries that come with your drills and impacts. And then also another big thing, the power stacks. I love them. There's like slapping a supercharger on your tool. But one of these did go out, and I believe most of them, they don't even show you the battery indicator anymore. Like that one doesn't, but it does charge, it still works. And this one sometimes will work with the battery light. And then all these smaller ones I have had no issues with. I love these for my impacts. They don't run as long as I like them to, but the power is there. Especially if you're slapping on a sander. When you got multiple, it's good because you got all this extra batteries charging just in case. So I will use these on sanders occasionally. And then just your run of the muck batteries. And I actually have a few more that aren't right here. They're on a job, so yeah. And then obviously I got a shop vac, all their tough system organizers. You go over here on my truck, I have two of my most used what are the consumables, and then drawer systems. We go back over to here. Oh, that's unlocked. That's closed. Let me unlock it. Got another one over here for sandpaper. And I do have some M12 tools, which I cannot complain anything about because they work great. Dewalt, you got to step up your 12-volt game. That's why I haven't bought any. And then we go into my shop. I apologize, it's messy. I have a Dewalt compressor, another Stelsonic shop vac, a Dewalt grinder, Dewalt biscuit joiner, and then obviously the DW735. I love this. I also have the 4-foot parallel clamps Dewalt. I love those. And then also I have the Tough System wall garage mount, which I don't use this as much as I like, but maybe I'll do a video on a setup. But yeah. So that concludes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I don't know if my opinion matters to you guys or not, but this is just a little bit or a majority of what I have, and I got more, but maybe we'll see how this video does, and maybe I could go even more in depth about each tool. So I appreciate you guys checking out my video. Please like, subscribe, and follow for more. I know there's a lot of Dewalt guys out there, and I'm sure you guys have just as much as me, if not more. But yeah, this is how I run my business off Dewalt. So let's see if Dewalt looks at this video. Give me a sponsorship. Appreciate you guys. You guys have a good one.